Hello and welcome to another episode of Swim Sets by the Pool. This is the podcast where you get free swim workouts and tips that are going to help you swim better. My name is Nathan Cohen. I'm a professional triathlete, and with me is Kyle Brill, two-time Olympic trial swimmer for the United States, ex-collegiate D1 swimmer, and he's turned to triathlon. He's turned to the dark side. So yeah, how you doing, Kyle?
It's good, good. It's it's never the dark side unless you're one of those swimmers hating on triathletes because they're taking your pool space. But I always found us as equal players. It was fun. But yeah, no dark side here. I'm more than yeah. I'm flattered you introduced me like that every time. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. Glad to go through another set, another week. It'll be good to see what we got.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Little updates. We are not missing a single episode here on the pod. So since we started, I think May 28th, 2024 was our first episode. We've gotten one long episode out every single week. I broke my collarbone a little over a week ago, and we're still doing it. I can't lift my left arm above my shoulder. So I've been so sad, you guys. I've been so depressed lately because literally, like, when I broke my collarbone, I cried, not because it hurt, but because I couldn't get in the pool the next day. I was like, man, this means I can't swim tomorrow. So like, yeah, I'm a little bummed, but we're still getting the episodes out. I can still talk into a mic. So we're here for you guys. We're getting you the swim sets. Kyle's brought us a great set today. He's getting ready for Santa Cruz. So he's doing Santa Cruz 70.3, his first 70.3. He's already done an Ironman, sort of.
Well,
Ironman
that's
Canada. No swim. We're not going to get into that whole mess. But
kind
yeah.
of if you want. Yeah.
But this is gonna be a good one, you guys. Yeah, enjoy your swims. If you're ever like into the pool and you're like, man, this kind of sucks, just remember Nate has a broken collarbone right now and he can't swim. So like pour one out for me, like go to the pool, pour one out for me, do a swim set for me. It'll make me happy. So
Never
do this swim set. This will be a great one. But yeah.
Yeah, don't take the water for granted. Just when you feel like you don't want to, and you can't, or like just when you aren't able to get in the pool, that's when it really hurts the worst. Yeah, and yeah, having it available every day, yeah, I can take it for granted sometimes, but I think I would be in the same position as you if I knew I couldn't actually get in the water. Having the ability to, it definitely helps. And yeah,
Yeah. I'm actually curious, Kyle, because I was thinking back. This is gonna be the longest I haven't swam in 10 years.
wow.
So like what about you? Like I mean you've been swimming since you were a kid. So like what's the longest break you've taken from swimming?
Yeah, from like actually doing any sort of swimming, whether it was like open water
Yeah,
or like
open water or pool, anything.
put my face in the water for the
Yeah.
purpose, not just playing like floundering around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I don't think I've taken more than a week off. Maybe I took a week and a half off, I think, like right when I retired from my collegiate swimming just to kind of
It's
reset.
like 10 days maybe.
And I think since maybe I was 10 years old, yeah, it's been over a decade easily that I've taken
Dang.
like, and that was the first over a week break. And I think, yeah, yeah, I thought about that. I was like, wow, yeah, I can't keep myself out of the water. Like even like retirement, I went
Yeah.
to triathlon, so I'm not really retired from swimming, but like, yeah, I just could not stay out of the water. Yeah, there definitely is periods of time where I skip, but never more than a week, really. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was thinking about that. So this is definitely the longest I've gone without swimming in yeah, like 10 years. Because when I was 16, I got a job at the YMCA, so I would swim laps a couple times a week. And since then, I started getting more serious in triathlon. So yeah, but I'm going to the doctor on Thursday, and hopefully he'll give me the green light. I could do like some kicking. Even if I can't lift my arm above my head, I can kick for a little bit and maybe do some one arm swimming or something like that. Because my right arm's good, just my left arm, I can't really lift it. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was a sad story. We were going on a ride on
I know
Sunday,
I was riding with Kyle. Oh man.
yeah, we were riding and we did like a 3 hour zone one ride. It was really easy, like just fun. We were having our on the TT bikes. We're doing our thing, and then we got back to Nate's house, and then yeah, like we were like 45 more minutes or whatever you wanted to do, and then I get a text from you like 2 hours later, and all of a sudden the collarbone's been snapped, and I'm like, what? I
Yeah.
like read it and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, we were just like we just broke.
Yeah.
Like I just said bye to you. Like, oh, it was rough, but
Yeah.
yeah. Life happens.
Anyways, enough about that. Enough about that. You guys came for the swim sets, not to hear me yapping on about my woes. So yeah, Kyle's got a tip for us to start us off, like we always do. Kyle, hit us with some swim tips.
I mean, a lot of you guys are triathletes. I think most of you guys are triathletes. So, I just wanted to say that drafting and swimming is just as important as drafting and cycling. If you can get yourself in a pack, stay in the back of that pack if they're moving pretty quick and just yeah, ride that wake that those people, especially if you're one of the quicker swimmers, the draft gets stronger the faster you're going. So if you can stick with a guy that's a little quicker than you and stay on his feet, not blow up, you'll be going so much faster on someone's feet, especially with that wetsuit, with all that water moving. And the more people in the pack, the better. So just my tip is during a race, draft anytime you can. Always find somebody's feet before and you don't have to sight. It's awesome. There's a lot of benefit to it. So make sure you find somebody and stay on their feet. That's my
Yeah, drafting so beneficial. I first learned about drafting. I used to teach swim lessons at the YMCA to like from babies all the way to like adults. And if there was a kid who was like kicking on the kickboard and they just like couldn't kick that good, the pool was only like 3.5 feet deep or like 4 feet, so I could stand up and walk across the whole thing. I would just stand in front of the kid, not touch the kickboard, but just walk back at the right pace, and then like the draft would like suck them in towards me, so like they wouldn't even have to kick and I could just pull them across the whole pool without touching them, just
That's
by
awesome.
like the wake I was creating by walking like flat in front of them, like backwards. So like if the parents were watching and I wanted it to seem like their kid was doing great, I would just like pull them along while they were kicking.
Oh, that's so smart. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's, that's genius. Yeah,
um
if there's any non-believers, yeah, go get some of your buddies and find a shallow pool and make a whirlpool with them, and like just you walking around in circles with six of your friends in the same direction will create an actual whirlpool like in between where you guys are all circling, and like if that's not water moving and creating a current, I don't know what is. So
yeah.
it can happen in a race too. It's incredible how strong a draft can get. So
Yeah, that's a great tip. Yeah, practice it with a buddy too. And yeah, it'll help you out in your race. I always tell people it's like just try and get on someone's, like, the way to PB or 70.3 swim is to swim on someone's feet who's like 8 or 10% faster than you and just stay on their feet the whole time. That's the way to PB your swim. It's doing our sets, but then also drafting someone. That's a good recipe if you mesh those two together. So this is a set today that Kyle did, prep for 70.3 Santa Cruz. He's not swimming that much right now because he's coming from collegiate swimming. He's swimming like probably, what do you think, like a little less than 10K a week?
yeah, I'd say like yeah, I'm putting 3 4 hours in at most in some weeks, and it's yeah, I'm keeping it not usually hitting over 4K in a practice unless I'm really feeling it like doing something crazy. So yeah, this is just like an hour long-ish set that it took me, and I did it about a week ago or so. So I think I wrote
Nice.
the somewhere, but
Yeah,
yeah,
so run us through it. Like got a warm up 200 choice, 850s free descend 1 through 4, 4 through 8. Is that a
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
typical warm up?
Yeah, so first actually I put it on the left there. I did a little like preset
Oh
activation.
yeah, a little Dryland, yeah.
And this was a set I did when my legs were really tired and I needed to kind of pull. And so I was kind of just I needed to kind of like get the body loosened up. It was a rough day.
Hmm.
It was in the morning, so I was trying to kind of wake up a little bit. So yeah, I did like a down dog to seal stretch, kind of up and down, like 10 times, kind of loosen up the lower back, get the flexibility in. Then I did 10 scap push-ups to kind of warm up the shoulders a little bit. Did 20-second. This is like not applicable to a lot of people, but there was a pull-up bar near my where I was able to, or it wasn't a pull-up bar, but it was a bar. And so I hung on it overhand grip for 20 seconds and let myself just relax and kind of loosen up, extend the lower back. Then
Hmm.
did an underhand grip, so I got a little bit of the different muscles in the lats activated there.
Yeah.
And then 10 squats to the ground where I put my butt to the ground and came up while my toes were touched, to kind of get a little bit, yeah, loosen up the legs a little bit. Just kind of a little, you can kind of do your own routine there, but a lot of people incorporate a little bit of stretching before the pool. And the
Hmm.
pool naturally kind of makes you flexible and loosens you up, which is really nice. But being able to speed up that process and feel good right when you get in the water, like you can warm up twice as fast sometimes when you do these
Hmm.
activations. Like your muscles are going to be so much more like loose when you jump in. You won't feel like a frozen block, especially if you're tired. So I thought, yeah, that was kind of a fun thing to include in there. So
Yeah, and this is also really good too, because like you could do a lot of these things before triathlon, because oftentimes in triathlons, especially Ironman stuff, you don't get hardly any time to warm up in the water. Sometimes you get no time to warm up in the water, so this could be a good option for people if you're waiting in line. Because like, I mean, there's like thousands of people who do these Ironman events. So like, you're standing in line waiting to like roll in for a while. So like, doing some of these like definitely would be good. If you even like can grab a fence or something, it's not quite as good as hanging on a bar, but like just kind of pulling back on the fence or like a railing or something like that, open up those lats and those shoulders. That could be really good.
You can kind of find a buddy too, and you can rest your hands on each of the shoulders and kind of like bend down so both
Yeah,
people get this little lat stretch and shoulder stretch. That one's a fun one if you got a buddy,
nice.
so then you can motivate each other to get a little dynamic in there. But yeah, it's great. It gets everything flowing so much quicker. I've done a really extensive Dryland routine, and I've been fully warmed up, completely ready to race in 200 or 300 yards, which for swimming is very, very little amount of yards. So it can be like if you make that dryland routine or that activation routine really extensive, you can almost loosen up every single muscle you would use in the pool and almost like perfectly be warmed up, which is really cool. So yeah, it just depends on what works for you as well. But yeah, doing something like that, especially on a day where you're sore or tight and or everything's kind of locked up, it's kind of it can't hurt at all. It's great. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then yeah, so 200 warm up, 850s, descending. Like, what are you kind of thinking when you're descending through these 50s?
Well, yeah, actually, the triathlon coach for UC Santa Barbara, John Michael, actually had this warm up. This is kind of his classic one, so credit to him there. But
Nice.
you just kind of just start out, it's nice and easy for the first one, pick it up the second one, just yeah, kind of roll through the first four and make them faster, and then you kind of reset, go a little easy again, and roll through it again. They don't have to be like the fourth one that you descend to doesn't actually need to be fast. It just needs to kind of just be each one just needs to be a little quicker than the other ones, and maybe the last one can be like yeah, a good tempo that you'd feel like the same stroke rate you'd use for the race or something like that, but not like anything crazy. It's just warm up, so
Hmm.
keeping it easy, but at least a little, yeah, strong in some ways there. But
Nice. And then take us through this preset.
okay, so the preset, I thought this was and this one I did today, the day I did it because the legs were really really tired, and even though I wanted to focus on the arms for the set and all of that, I did want to kind of loosen up the legs and shake out the legs, and also warming up the lungs. I think in swimming, a lot of people don't realize that the lungs are also a muscle, and if you don't warm up your lungs, it can be a lot harder to kind of get in the zone. So actually warming up your lungs with some underwaters can actually warm up the rest of your body a lot more and make you feel a lot more warmed up. And so holding your breath underwater while you know using your muscles is a good way to warm up the lungs. And so I really like to do a lot of my presets with some hypoxic work. And to flush out the legs, I just did 15 or 16 25s underwater. I did 8 on 30 seconds, 4 on 25 seconds, and then 4 on 20 seconds. And you could adjust these intervals to whatever you feel comfortable with. I think the last four should really kind of get you breathing hard. Like on the third one, going into the very last one, you should feel like you're like starting to run out of air. So it really kind of like gets a little bit more progressively harder. You can kind of ease into it, so it's not scary at first, and then you're kind of more motivated to test the waters more. So feel free to keep the intervals the same, and then maybe if you can, like you can start out at a really slow interval and just drop it a little bit throughout it. But yeah, if you want to follow that and add or subtract seconds, that would be kind of a fun way to approach a preset. And yeah, and it gets the legs kind of loosened up a little bit, especially if they're tight, which is kind of nice. So it kind of has a double purpose there.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, 1625s underwater. At least you have fins, so that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that would be hard for me, to be honest. Especially like on the 20, that would be pretty challenging.
Yeah, it's especially not now that I'm not swimming as consistently anymore. I wrote that when I wrote that I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna hurt a little bit, but I got I
Yeah.
got okay. So
I was so proud. Like this summer, I finally got to the point where I could do a 50 long course meters, not underwater, but just like swimming, with just no breath. So like
wow.
no breath for a whole 50 long course. I was so stoked on that. It was so hard though.
Yeah, there was a lot of people on the Santa Barbara team when I was swimming that could not do that. We tried it a few times, and yeah, you got to really be able to relax your heart rate. Those sets, it's a great way to learn how to calm your heart rate down too, because the lower your heart rate is, the more successful you're going to be holding your breath. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you can just learn to relax, and you can apply it in a lot of other ways too. I know how to slow my heart rate down really fast being a swimmer, which is really fun. It translates over very well to other disciplines. So. Those sets are great for that kind of thing.
Nice. And then three 100s free at 120, so about 20 seconds rest, and you're just holding the min on these, just nice and steady.
Yeah, yeah. So I just kind of wanted to get the arms back in it because I've been working the legs for a while there, and you don't want to like just go right into the main set without at least touching up on the arms, especially if you're going to kind of start pretty hard and doing some sort of pace work. Yeah, you want to kind of like get back on the arms. So I didn't want to jump straight into those that main set. So I did, yeah, three 100s free on like 120 or whatever interval you want. Get maybe like 20 seconds of rest and just try to hold like a strong pace, not a fast pace, and just yeah, kind of get those arms and shoulders and all the blood flowing back to the upper body muscles again.
Nice. Okay, cool. So pretty simple main set, pulling. Kyle's been doing a lot of biking, so he's been doing a little more pulling in the pool, save the legs. It's just 2 rounds, six 100s. First round is on 120, so he's getting about 20 to 25 seconds rest, and then round two is on 110, so about 10 to 15 seconds rest. And this is the difference between a swimmer and a triathlete. The first round, he did two on 1 minute, two on 58, and then two on 56.
Or
And then,
those are what I was holding. So those were the target times. So it was
okay.
on 120, and I held a minute for the first two, then 58, then
Yeah.
50 for
And
bowling.
did
So
you do that both sets?
yeah, and then there was 100 easy in between rounds. So I did six
Yeah.
like that, and then dropped the interval a little bit because I was even more warmed up, kind of
Hmm.
towards, and then did them on 110. So I was getting a little less rest on there, and yeah, it made for a pretty like it was if it was more aerobic, there was no part where was in so much pain that I was like starting to like want to double over, but it was enough to where it was like I had to stay focused the whole
Hmm.
time, and I wasn't overexerting myself. So I feel like it did a good job of kind of pacing me for what a swim might feel like in Santa Cruz. Like you don't want to go too fast, but you're kind of going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe if you can make, five 100s on say like if you can do say you're on 130 and you can make like and you can hold a minute for all those hundreds, and that's like the fastest you could probably go for your best average, like knock it back a little bit, like you can go like you try to make it end on like 102s for your last two or 104s or something like
Hmm.
that. Don't make it to the point where you are like fully exerting yourself with a set like this, but get it enough to where like you're maybe getting to that pace you would swim an entire mile at. That would be somewhere around like a 56 short course for me would be probably like the upper end of what I would want to swim there for Santa Cruz. So
Yeah,
those
for sure.
pretty
And so the point of this set isn't to go super hard. It's just to kind of work down the pace and just build a little bit of fatigue for a longer distance swim. Like, because Santa Cruz is going to be 1800. How long is it? Is it 1800 meters
1.2 miles. I think I'd put it around 2000 maybe.
or like
Maybe a little.
19? I don't know,
Yeah,
something like that.
I'd
Doesn't
be
really matter. It's wherever they put the buoys that day, really.
yeah, I'd assume maybe imagine it to be close to 2000 yards, but maybe less, maybe more. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, for Kyle, 56 is an aerobic effort. Like, I mean, what could you swim if you like sprinted an all out 100 free?
My best time's like a 43 or 44.
Exactly. So, like,
That's off a block suited up.
yeah,
That
yeah.
like I think pushing like I could maybe in my prime was pushing 50 seconds on the 110 or something, but like for like five. But that'd be like full exertion, double load.
Yeah.
And so I definitely didn't want to get down to that kind of like interval because that was definitely not the focus for
Yeah.
sure. But
And
I'm probably
that also kind of effort is not going to prepare you exactly well for like a 70.3. Like those sets are good to do for certain things, but like this is like you were working towards your 70.3 pacing and that kind of thing. And yeah, that sounds great. And then the 100 easy in between, I really like that. Just a little reset. And yeah, I mean, this is a great set that like I feel like anyone could do and stuff. And I mean, you could even adjust it. Like, if you're a triathlete, like, you don't necessarily have to do 16 25s underwater, but try four, Like, try four 25s underwater if that's something that's really challenging for you. Or if, like, that's even too much, like, if you're more of a new swimmer, you can even try, like, 3 2 1 0 breaths for 25s or something like that.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, I was maybe a modification too, is like, yeah, if you don't think you don't even want to do a whole lap underwater or whatever, you could maybe just push halfway underwater, emphasize like, a few dolphin kicks with your fins. And if you can't do dolphin kicks, yeah, switch it to freestyle maybe even like, and hold your breath 3 2 1 because the half of it's a little bit the legs. I think that was good, but the other half is also getting the lungs warmed up. So getting a little bit of hypoxic work on there was mostly the focus. So that, yeah, that any
Yeah.
way you could modify it to get your breath holding a little bit more than you would normally swim at would be the goal there. But
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, this is a great. I can't, man. I want to get in the pool so bad. I want to try this. um, for me, I mean, I'd probably be doing if I was doing the set, I'd probably be doing maybe 125, 115, and I think I could do like start at maybe 104 and then do 102s and then one double O's probably for this kind of set, but not right now, obviously, but in the future soon.
don't worry, you'll have plenty of sets that we'll be talking about on the podcast for you to try out, and we'll let you guys know how Nate enjoyed them. I'm sure.
Yeah. And then warm down 2 to 300 easy swimming, and then 100 kick on back. What's up with that? Just
Oh yeah, so that was thrown in there because like again, my legs were so tired. I was like, I'm trying to flush them out, and I had just done a ton of pulling. I hadn't used the legs at all, besides when I was pushing off the wall. And so to kind of just reemphasize that, like the legs, like because in a way, swimming just can make you so much more flexible. It can loosen you up. I mean, people go in the water all the time just to like, yeah, to like stay loose, like older people, with water aerobics, that kind of thing. So if your legs are super tight, one of the best ways to like relax them, especially at the end of the workout, is maybe get a little kicking in. So I threw a 100 easy kick on my back there, just kind of like reemphasize you can get some more blood flow back into the legs before you hop out, and hopefully that can speed up the recovery process, maybe of like a fatigue there. So this set was a little bit specific to like a hard week of training with running and biking thrown in there. But I think as a triathlete, it could definitely be applicable if especially if you're in that similar situation. But obviously warm down, just get enough yardage into where your heart rate can get all the way back down to zero, and you can kind of like let your muscles relax. I think that it's not an exact science there as it is like kind of the set is. So it's yeah, I thought that was a fun thing to throw in there just for my own sake. But yeah, I think it could definitely apply to other people as well.
yeah, that's super nice. Well, sweet. We've gone a little over 20 minutes trying to keep these episodes around that time so you guys can listen to them, get to the pool. But I'm going to close this out. This isn't even a hot take. This is just the truth. The fastest swim time at Santa Cruz is not going to be from a pro male. It's going to be from Kyle.
Oh,
So I'm just saying it right now. And we'll see you guys in Santa Cruz and
ah,
see you on the next episode.
sounds good.